Morning everybody, Rusty from the Rusty Razor. Got another shave day. Today we're going to be using Stirling Sandpiper. Got a sample of it. Interesting scent. You definitely can smell the vetiver in this. That's like the most forward thing I can smell. But there's a slight citrus and I think there's a woody cedar note to it. I believe so. When I smell this, it's like when I lather it up, it's mostly vetiver that I smell. And maybe cedar. There's kind of a woody vetiver smell that I get across of it now. I don't know if it's because, I think if I remember right, there used to be more like a bergamot and scent to it, more kind of a citrus aspect to it. But I've had this sample for like 3 years now, so I think the what do you call it, the finer notes have kind of faded away. Alright, so we're using the third use of the London Bridge blade with the Gillette Super Speed. Haven't seen this thing in a while. It's like, well, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't make it on the video very often, so I just like looking at it like, well, I haven't showed on a video in a while. So there you go. Alright, so how's your day going? What is this? August? Yeah, gosh, time flies. So getting ready for the old Iowa State Fair that's coming up here. It's like, we're my 2 weeks where I disappear from the face of the earth and all I sit is outside going, park you, come on, park, stress, sit in the sun, bake for 12 hours, hoping to make some money. So that's what's coming up. So I always record a bunch of videos beforehand. Usually it's about 4 in advance. Because I had zero time to do anything other than sit outside. So it's like, it's one of those things where I start shaving and showering in the evening and it's like I had zero energy by that time. It's like all I want to do is just kick back and relax. So, like good old Stirling, though. This stuff is lathers up nicely. So, yeah, got that coming up. Weather's been kind of a wet, or hot, muggy weather we've had here recently. And we had the 100 and something degree temperatures, yeah, once again. That was in July. Everybody, it's like, well, hell, that was when the Death Valley was like 120 something degrees Fahrenheit. I just read about where some bike rider, they had some adventure riders, I think they were out riding, overheated, one of them overheated and died. You wear all this gear when you're out there riding in the sun because, hey, you don't want to fall and lose a bunch of skin. Oh, I see these videos of guys are riding these sport bikes. Heck, you even see it with guys riding cruisers that will, they might be wearing tennis shoes, shorts, and a tank top and a hat here in Iowa. Hell, I see guys riding around with flip-flops or sandals. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. Those, one of the channels I watch, this guy, he had some decent gear on, but he always wore work boots. And, you know, just your basic lace-up work boots, thinking, you know, they're leather, they're good, you know, they'll keep you safe in a accident. And he had secures gear on his bike. And he was going down the road and he had his sleeping bag that was tied onto the back. And usually strap that stuff down with tie straps and stuff. Came loose and it wrapped up inside his rear tire and it locked it up and he went down. And when he went down. The process of having the accident, his normal work boots, leather work boots, go slightly above the ankle that just lays up. One of them came off, and he basically sandpapered his foot down. He lost part of his foot. Like, good God. So that's the one thing is it's like I got actual motorcycle riding boots, that you zip up the side, and I got a shank in the side, and steel toes, and you name it. And he had his normal gear on, and even then he was showing it where his riding pants were just shredded, and they're designed to withstand road rash, and it just tore them to pieces just going down the road, because he's doing probably 70 down the highway. And you want to know what it's like to go down at those speeds, go take a belt sander and just put your hand against it for a while and just see what happens. Yeah, it's like tears your skin right completely off. And I see these guys riding around like that, and it's like, you never wrecked before, have you? You've never gone down. It's like, heck, I've gone down quite a few times in my day. There's been, most of the times that the bike's gone over is coming to a stop at a stop sign or a light, and you put your foot down and it's all sand. It's usually in the spring, right after winter, when all the sand's been on the road. You put your foot down and your foot just keeps going, and you're like, whoosh, oh. You're like trying to hold the bike up, and it's like you got a 500-pound bike, and you're trying to hold it from 500 pounds of gravity. It's like it just wants to go. So, yeah. And that's the most common problems that I've always had. And it's like my brother. He went down. He said one time deer came out, hit a deer, and he went down. And he rides around with just your normal leather work boots. And he said both my boots came right off my feet. It just took it right off when you're going down the road. Just the sheer force of going down the road. And he had a massive road rash. And he's another one of those that doesn't wear a jacket or any type of gear. And, he wears pants. But he got tore up. And I said, why the hell don't you wear a jacket and a helmet? Oh, I don't want to. That's uncool. He rides a Harley, and all of his friends ride Harleys. And it's like, that's uncool. They don't invite me to their riding events anymore because I show up and I'm like leather and helmet and everything. They just like, what are you wearing all that crap for? You obviously don't know what that road does to you. I like to keep my skin where it's at. And this guy that went down, I was telling you about, he has a full face, or not full face, it was a modular, so the front goes up. And he had it on, and he went down, and that came open, and it sandpapered his face. His whole side of his face was sandpapered. And that was with a helmet on. And, I wear a helmet, a full face helmet that's not modular. You got the full screen and everything. And I've been going down the road before, and a vehicle will kick up a rock and just bam, right? It's like, I've had helmets where I had a big old dent, like right here, or right above the face mask, hit, and it just left a big dent in the helmet. I was like, well, that helmet's crap now. Gotta get a new helmet. And here comes the air conditioning kicked on. It just turned off before I started my video. It was like waiting. It's like, they're going to turn off there. And, nope, okay. It's coming back on. It happens when it's 90-something degrees outside. So, if you weren't wearing a helmet and it hit you like that, you'd be down. Your head might be caved in. Because if it has enough force to put a dent in a helmet, what is that going to do to your skull? You know, I've had stuff kicked up before. I had it was like a piece of steel come up and it hit my face mask. Literally my face mask right here. It was like, left a gouge right across my, it's like, oh, looks like I need a new screen on my helmet. So, yeah, this is like vehicles you be riding around by a vehicle, and all of a sudden something kicks up and bing, bing. You know, I've had one that hurt the most was riding was there was a dump truck right here, and I seen the dump truck, and I was like, okay, I'm going faster than the dump truck, so I'm going by, and all of a sudden you just see these big rocks coming out, like fist-sized rocks start coming out the back end. I was like, oh crap. And they kicked one of them hit me in the shin, just bam, hit, and it bounced up off my shin, hit me in the chest right here, and then dropped down on my tank and left a big dent in my tank. And I'm like, oh my God, I hurt. Like, went off to the side of the road, and I parked my bike, put the kickstand down, got off the bike, and just fell on the ground. I was in agony. I was like, I was like hobbling along. I was like, I felt like I broke my leg. And I had this literally knot, this big old, and this was through my boot. I had a riding boot comes up fairly high. It hit me in the riding boot, and I could barely get my boot off because I had this big old, what do you call it? Basically, say it's like contusion on my shin. And when I got home, it's like later I had this big old, about this big right here, right in my chest, was this big old black mark. You know, black and blue were just hammered me hard. So yeah, I can't imagine if I was. And that was through a leather coat. And it's like I got these big pads, thick leather coat. You know, it's designed to handle some of the. You know, if you go down, it's like it's leather, not your skin that's coming off. You know, and it left that much of a dent in me. Like, man. And you see these guys riding around in tennis shoes, shorts, tank top. And you watch these videos every once in a while, a guy will go see him go down because he's recording everything, and he gets up, oh, and he looks down, and it's like all the skin's peeled off. You know, like you were wearing a jacket like you're supposed to. It wouldn't be, but I'll be hot. I don't look cool without it. Well, you're awful cool now with all your skin missing. Yeah. And the worst thing I ever had happen to me was I had somebody pull out in front of me. My girlfriend was on, not my wife, but my girlfriend at the time. This is where my bike bit to dust. Caved it right in. Somebody pulled out. It was like basically a blind intersection. It's like cruising along down the street. I was doing it's a 35 mile an hour zone where it was at, and I was probably doing 35 a little over, maybe probably 38. I always cruise right around the speed limit anyway. And there's this street where there's a house. It's like it's like a very narrow sidewalk, and then there's a house, a building, like an old business used to be there, and it went right up. It's like, so you got to pull out to be able to see around this building. And a lot of people would just, and it was like, it's 4-lane where I was at on the street, Highway 61 going through Muscatine. And the car just pulls right out so they could see. But we're talking from their door of their car was right at the edge of the street. So the front of the car was out. And there was a car right next, like right here. And I had nowhere to go. It's like I hit the brakes and it just went smashed right into it. I went flying over top of the vehicle and went down, bouncing. I went flying over the vehicle, bounced down the street, did a barrel roll, and right up on my feet. I was like, whoa. And I had a helmet. My girlfriend's dad was a motorcycle rider. He used to race dirt bikes. And he insisted, you guys will always wear, when you take my daughter out, you're wearing a helmet. And I was like, I got no problem wearing a helmet. And he's like, what? She would always complain. He's like, I don't need a helmet. Well, too constricting. I don't want it. It's like her dad was insisting. I was like, if you're riding with me and your dad insisted, I don't want to have them catch us out there without a helmet on. I'm wearing a helmet. You're going to wear a helmet. So she had her helmet that her dad, made her have. And we had this accident. I had basically the skin on my shins peeled off. I'm like, oh my God, this hurt. And then I see her laying there. Because she went over the vehicle too. And she came down, instead of me tucking in and rolling with it, I was like, she came down and went, bam! Her head came down on the asphalt. And she was not moving. And they hauled her to the hospital, and then they flew her up to the hospital in Iowa City. When you get flown, it's bad. She had major brain trauma. And she was in a coma for a month. And there's a reason why she was no longer my girlfriend. Is that she could not remember the previous 2 years. It was gone. She just had no memory of me at all. It's like, I don't know who you are. I helped her, and she had to learn how to walk and talk and everything. I helped her, a lot of her physical therapy, but she just had no feelings for me anymore. And it's like, then she's like, I'm sorry, I just can't go on with this relationship. It's like, I know that how you feel, but I don't know you. And I was hoping that, by helping her out and everything, that she'd eventually remember, but she never did. We ended up becoming friends, and we're still friends to this day, but she does not remember our relationship at that time at all to this day. We just became good friends, that was it. But she wore a helmet. If she wouldn't have been wearing a helmet, she'd have been dead. It's plain and simple. So when you see these guys riding around without helmets on, it's like, oh God. Back when I used to work for local motorcycle dealership, power sports industry, I lost customers that bought a bike from me. Some were the first time bike riders, some were not. And I think over the course of the time I worked, I lost 5 customers from accidents. Like 3 of them were high speed. There was first bike, and they were going crazy and just lose control and Worst one was guy was flying across the local dam what we have out here by Sailorville, and he was flying along, and it's here you go straight, and there's a 90-degree turn. He was flying across it and didn't realize it was a 90-degree turn up there, and he just kept going straight, and they went right into the trees, and both of them died. But I had one customer that was at the intersection, bought a cruiser. Someone pulled out in front of me, hit the I guess from my understanding of the accident, he hit the brakes, and it fell over, and he hit his head and died. Wasn't wearing a helmet. And people been wearing a helmet, it's like, dink, ooh, crap, I need a new helmet. So, yeah. It's a dangerous vehicle to ride. Let's just say it that way. So if you've never ever done it, it is dangerous. Accidents happen. You know, I've split a helmet before. It's like I used to race ATVs. I went into a tree once, an oak tree once, and just smacked my head on this thing. And I wore body armor when I'm riding them out there, and I just like my off-road helmet is like, I'm like, whoa! And I'm like, you literally start. What do you do? And you're like, okay, a little brain trauma here. But yeah, it is ridiculous. Speaking of motorcycles, there's a neighbor on his motorcycle. You can hear it. Got a Harley. It's not loud enough. We were talking about it the other day. I got a brand, and I was talking to my cousin who is a bike rider, and he's like, yeah, those are the guys that buy those damn Harleys. Change out the pipe. You know, it's like you get a factory one that's loud to begin with, but no, not loud enough, so they got to get to put on the Eagle exhaust system, which is basically straight pipes, no baffles or anything. Got to make sure that your neighbors 3 miles away can hear you just like you're standing next to them. I think we're done. All right. Oh, great shave, right? Nice story time. All right. Oh, cardamom. That's what I'm smelling. And fennel. I think cardamom and fennel. I don't mind the smell of fennel. Cardamom. Cardamon's not that bad as spice, but fennel, black. It's like it ranks up there with what the hell is that crap that they put in guacamole? Tastes like soap. At the moment I can't think of it. That's how much I hate it though. Okay. A little bit of Old Spice here. Alrighty. Now, just like, see here. A little sting on right here. A little bit. Not bad. Alright. Ooh, that smells good. Nice little combination there. It's like, yeah, I'm smelling more carnation and cinnamon, I think, right now, because the other scents, you know, are kind of mashing up here. Oh, yeah. Nice scent. Okay. There's an affiliate link down below to the razor company. So if you need something from the razor company and you want to get it, click on the affiliate link, and a little bit of kickback goes back towards the pool that goes towards giveaways. All right. So that was Stirling Sandpiper. Nice little scent, worked out pretty good. I got a whole, it's like I got samples here. I got another 2 containers up there stacked full of samples. It was a lot easier to buy samples than it is to buy the whole tub and see if you want to use it or not. So it's the stuff that's in there happens to be on the short list a lot of times of what I want to use. All right, so that's shaved everybody. Hope you guys like it. Did I say what the... Yeah, maybe I didn't. Third use of the London Bridge blades with the Super Speed, Gillette Super Speed. The year code on it, there is one, isn't one. So I think between 47 and 51, I think somewhere is the time period when that one was produced. So don't know. No, not exactly. All right, so that's shaved, everybody. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Rusty out.